Hello everyone, thank you for stopping by my YouTube channel today and checking out my video. My name is Lena Kears from Inspired Creations, and I'm a Canadian independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I've got all my information here before I cover it up with the mess we're going to make. So this is my Facebook page. I usually post about 5 days a week. This is my Stampin' Up store. This is my June host code. If you're a Canadian person and you would like a demonstrator, if you don't have one yet, I would love to be your demonstrator. So today we're going to be working on the old technique of polished stone. Now that technique used to be done on the shiny glossy paper, and we don't sell that anymore. So now we have to devise different ways to get that same beautiful technique. So this is done on vellum paper, on the back of vellum. And I used 3 colors here: Flamingo, Heather, and Bermuda. And here I did Mango, Melon, and Mint. And here I did Grape, Blush, and Pear. Now, you can see this has spread more. I've used more alcohol. This one has spread less, so I've obviously used less alcohol. I did, however, spritz this on the other side with the shimmer paint. And then this one is, I think, just about perfect. And I've added a little line here and there of the liquid glue, and I put our gold flakes on there. So I'm going to show you a little bit of each of these, and then we're going to use this one here to make a card when we're all done. Okay, and the colors I'm using today will be different colors than these, just to show you what some other colors will look like. Okay, so the alcohol I'm using is from the drugstore, and it is 99%, and it does make a difference which alcohol you use. This makes the paint spread way quicker, so you need less of it. So we're just going to bring this in and cover up all my info here, because this will protect my space. This is just a designer paper package with the plastic covering still on it. And I've got these all labeled as to what I used. So we're doing Freesia, Polished Pink, and Evergreen first. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to put a few drops in this little basin of each color. And really the colors all look just dark. So I'm just going to set the little ink refill right beside it so I know which one is which. Oh, that one actually looks a little bit more reddish. And then this is the Evergreen. So what I'm going to start with is making my sponge wet with the alcohol. I want it to be pretty wet so that the alcohol will be free to move. And let's start with the lightest color here. I don't really think it matters too much which color you start with. So I've got my vellum taped onto my scrap paper because it will curl. And as it curls, the ink starts to run. So I'm just trying to control it a little bit. I'm just trying to even out the colors a bit by going over it again. And it will all change when we spray it. Now you don't need to spray it. Before I spray it, I'll show you what it looks like without spraying, and you can leave it the way that is. Okay, so this is the, ooh, that's pretty bright. This is the polished pink. Just going over it a bit more to spread it out a bit. You don't really want to mix the colors too much because you don't want to end up with a muddy mess. Now these colors wouldn't turn muddy because they're not that type of color, but okay, put that in there. Can go back to it if we determine we need more of any color. Okay, and this is the dark green, the Evergreen. And I thought that would be a nice contrast. I haven't done these colors before, so I'm as surprised as you are by what we get. I didn't want to just keep doing the same old thing, so just thought I'd change it up a bit. And it's okay if you've got some white showing through. That always looks nice in marbling. Okay, well, I think we'll leave it like that. Now, so you can let it dry like this. And maybe we will let this one dry as is. Maybe just work this green a little bit more so it's not quite so dark in the centers. And then the next one we'll spray and see which one we like better. Okay, so that's good. I'm going to put this aside. Just hope the cat doesn't decide to walk in it. Okay, so I'm going to move this aside with all the colors so I know which is which. So this one says Blackberry, Papaya, and Soft Succulent. Ooh. Okay, I've never tried this combo either. So Papaya is the lightest color here. So probably do the most of that one. And the Soft Succulent. It's a lighter green than the one we used, the Evergreen. But Blackberry Bliss is a very dark color. Okay, so again, we're just using a different sponge, or a different cotton ball for each one so that we don't muddy up the colors. We'll start with this. So we'll leave it at that. Then we'll get more alcohol. You can see I'm using quite a bit of alcohol because these cotton balls are kind of thick. So you should be able to feel the alcohol almost coming through to your fingers. So this is the Soft Succulent. And if you want, when you're done all three colors, you could use more colors if you like. But if you want to go back and add some more, that's perfectly fine. Okay, so now we'll do the Blackberry Bliss. Doesn't feel very light yet. You can buy these little paint trays in the dollar store. That's where mine came from. Ooh, that's a strong color. But I think it's going to be pretty. Now this one I'm not going to keep sponging as much because I'm going to be spraying it. So there are quite a few white spots yet. But in my little mister, I've got alcohol, and I use this same alcohol. So spritzing from a little high. You don't want to spritz too much because it will pool. So let's see what happens with this. I don't know if we want to go back and... No, let's just leave it as is. The next one, if maybe I'll just dab it back again after spritzing. We'll see. Do it each one a little bit differently. Okay. Then the third one we're doing is Pacific, Bermuda, and Granny Apple Green. So we'll put these away. And I had these out already. So I hadn't done much with the blues and greens before, so I'm maybe overdoing the greens here, but that's okay. I love these reinkers. They're so useful. You can use them for so many techniques. Okay. Alrighty, let's start with the lightest one. That's just my personal preference because I like to give the lightest color the most space. Oh, my ball is falling apart here. Alrighty, then we'll do some. I think the Pacific might be considered a little bit darker than the Bermuda Bay, but they're both pretty deep colors. Oh, those colors are nice together. Okay, and one more. I think this might make a very pretty marbled look. You never know until you play with colors how it's going to turn out. Okay, we'll spritz it, and then I might go back and dab just a wee bit more. Okay, so I'm going to try to dab the blue with the blue and the Bermuda with the Bermuda. Kind of mixing in, so it's hard to tell. Well, I think that's pretty good. All right, we'll leave them and we'll make the card, and I'll show you how I added the glue, the gold with the glue. Okay. Put the alcohol away so we don't spill that. So let's try adding a bit of the gold to this one here. Oh, that was kind of small. I used this to make some butterflies on a card already. Oh, but that one's got a shimmer. Okay, we'll go back to this one. Okay, I can find my glue pen. Oh, laying right beside me. So we're going to put the glue on, and then we're going to use the gilded leafing, it's called. Now this is a new jar, but I've got a good part of a jar in here yet, so that's what we're going to be using. I just want to show you how it comes when you buy it. It just kind of takes over your box when you empty it. It just really airs out, and it's very staticky. So you have to be careful that you don't get it all over the place. Okay, this is a very, very fine glue pen, which I bought on Amazon. And I haven't actually used it for this. I thought that this one was just a little bit too thick. So let's try it with this. Oh, I have to take there's a little plastic covering there. You can just kind of follow some of the colors that you see. You want it to get that marbled look, doing some veins through the colors. And then don't let it dry too much. Now we're just going to lay it in here. And then we'll brush it off and see what sticks. It's kind of a messy thing, but it's a fun mess. So you can just keep brushing until there's no flakes left at all. And you get the gold as thin as the glue was, the line. This is why I like to have it in a container like this, because the mess just goes right back in the container. This brush I'm using is just a stenciling brush from the dollar store. Okay. Keep most of this stuff inside. Isn't that pretty? It makes a nice thin line. I think the lines are thinner than here. So anyway, that's something you could do in addition to the color. So now I'm going to use this one to make a card. And I don't have a sample to show you because I haven't made this card before. Now I did go ahead, I planned my layers, and this is just a wee bit bigger than the white layer, and then I'm going to trim it off. So I went ahead and I embossed birthday wishes with white on there. And I'm just going to attach this layer. Come on. So I just picked colors that were in here. Now this actually is Bermuda, which is quite dark, and I didn't want the card to be so dark, but it looks fine on here. Now in order to attach these two together, I wanted to use, I made it ready, I just don't know where I put it here. Okay, I wanted to use the brush end and just fill the whole paper with it. Okay, let's just bring in a scrap paper here. Because you want it to be down pretty solid. Oh. I should have used my silicone. See if I can move some of this. Okay, I was a little overzealous there, but okay. Get that messy part out. Okay, we'll now just rub this into place. Don't think you need to use this much glue. But I have my my little roller. I'm just going to smooth it out with. There we go. The back doesn't matter if it's a little sticky because it's going to be glued down anyway. However, we do need to trim these edges, not just use my old scissors. If you do it from the back, you can see exactly where you need to cut. There we go. And I will clean my scissors after we're done. All right, so now we're just going to, oh, isn't that pretty? We're just going to attach it to there with just a little bit of glue. Come on, this one doesn't want to give me enough, and the other one gave me way too much. Okay. Don't really think it matters if which way is up. Just want to center it on here. Now, putting the white behind it really brings out the colors, because if I had just put it on the heather, it would not have shown up quite as well. So then I also cut, I was going to put a bow on it. Okay, guess I'm not. So I thought this would be a nice little thing, and then I'll just put a bow right over top of that instead of a ribbon across like I was planning to. Just going to cut these a little bit even and glue this one down flat. So this is the Forever Green, Forever, I don't know where I put the stamp set. Anyway, it's a set that we still carry. Turn it this way. And then this one I'll use dimensionals. There we go. And then a bow. And I thought white would be a good accent because of the white in the background. Be a little bit shorter, we won't see the happy birthday. And glue dots. So there we go. There's our card. Didn't that turn out very pretty? Really lovely. Now I'm going to show you what the other pieces look like. So this is the Freesia. It's almost dry. There's a few more little wet spots there, but putting some Scotch tape on it really kept it from curling and letting the inks run into each other. So that's pretty good. And we've got this one, not quite dry yet. So this has got a lot more white because we didn't spritz this one. We just dabbed it with the alcohol. So it's a totally different look again than that. And we've kind of lost the heather look because the pink kind of took over on this one. And then here is the last one we did. And that's pretty nice too. You can see, oops, you can see the Pacific blue for sure, but the Bermuda and the green have sort of run into each other, but yet you can still see them. So I think they're pretty nice. I think this one's pretty nice too. So there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. I've been having fun with these colors and hopefully you'll try it too. And again, here's my information. All the measurements and the color names and everything will be in the video where it says show more. All right, that's it for today. Bye-bye.